Hey, what is up, everybody? Matt, One Team, One Podcast back. All right. We are SEC play, everybody. We've made it. We've done it. We've gotten past these stupid non conference games. I can't believe we even play them in the first place. 1-1 going to Starkville. We're going to talk about the game. Kind of what my takeaways would have been from the Grambling game. We'll talk about that. Kind of what I'm looking for the Mississippi State game. Score prediction. We're going to do all that like we normally do every week. And again, sponsored by Patrick Michelson, new company, guys. Highlands Residential Mortgage. Same phone number. You can reach Patrick directly. 225-939-9878. Patrick is the best in the business. Give him a call. Call him directly. He can walk you through everything you need to do for your home or refi needs, get you in the best products, get you the best interest rate. Give Patrick a call, 225-939-9878. Still a main sponsor for One Team, One Podcast and our audio sponsor for all of our podcasts. Also, River Cities Total Maintenance, Lucas Ragusa over at River Cities, NOLA-AC.com. Getting a little, it's not quite as high as it was. Starting to get a little cool spell probably in the next couple of weeks. Get your heaters checked. He can also do refrigeration, AC, electrical needs, help you with all that NOLA North Shore area. But give him a call, 504-841-3300. Lucas is a great friend of the show. Also, Bocock Brothers Cigars, bocockbrothers.com, #BeCocky. Check them out. Go look at their selection. You can also find them at Churchill's, Cigar Den in Baton Rouge, Havana Port in Baton Rouge. So go check them out. Bocock Brothers. We appreciate them for sure. So, all right. Takeaways from Grambling. We beat the shit out of them. That's number one takeaway. Offense rolled. You can't. I'm going to talk a little bit about our fans right now, like especially on Twitter. We have a unique fan base. People just trying to find the negatives with our team right now, but then they start looking in the wrong spots. They're looking at Jaden Daniels as one of the negatives right now, especially even after the Grambling game. Like they're finding passes that he underthrew, things like that. Ridiculousness in my opinion, especially after the Grambling game. If you want to talk about the Florida State game, go at it. But again, what I said before was Florida State game was a problem with second half. Defense looks like they gave up. Offense kind of was a little too conservative at times. We didn't open it up when we needed to. We didn't put the points on the board when we needed to in the first half to kind of get up a little bit more. Defensive backfield was a mess. Our Florida State's wide receivers running all over the place. Harold Perkins problems. Grambling had some more defensive issues. And if you're going to take anything out of that game, you're going to say we scored a boatload of points, scored on, I think, almost every possession. I think we punted one time, scored a touchdown on every other possession, if I remember right. Offense just looked like it was rolling. Had a great offensive game. Logan Diggs is looking great. The addition with Hurd on the offensive line looked like it was a really good addition. I want to see more of that for probably in this game. I'm not quite sure how much we're going to see of Hurd, but definitely Logan Diggs was a spark plug for our running game, and I think that's going to make a world of difference for the entire offense. Through the deep ball, we got Chris Hilton involved. I thought everything looked great. Defensively, still looked like a mess. Grambling was running a spread. We weren't able to run fit. I remember one of the first, I think the first series that Grambling had, we had a chance to kind of keep him in like a 3rd and long, and they hand the ball off to the little running back, and he puts a move on. I think it was Andre Sam. He put a move on Sam. Sam was right there in the hole, right where he was supposed to be, juked him, and all of a sudden they get a 20-yard game. You cannot miss that tackle. Like, those are the things that they're probably talking about in film. Like, you cannot miss that tackle. You're the guy. Like, you can't. He had his head down, dove at the it was terrible. So there are a lot of plays like that that the defense had to get cleaned up, and it looked like they made some adjustments in the second half. Grambling was still running their starters out there, and defense made a few adjustments. Nothing that you're going to take away that's going to be like, oh my god, this is night and day. It's fucking Grambling. But Harold Perkins still, he had a couple of play. It looked like he was lined up a little bit more at a rush end and stand up a stand up linebacker on the edge. Um, Still had some plays where he looks like he's dropping back into a zone. Just I to me, if anything, it just screams like you're not quite as confident in your cornerbacks. They try to play Denver Harris in some one-on-ones. I mean, I think he's going to get beat some. I think all of our corners are going to get beat in one-on-ones, man to man, and I think that's why they're trying to play some zone. But anyway, flush all that. Let's get to Mississippi State. Mississippi State didn't look great against Arizona. They're Arizona. I watched the first half of that game and kind of took away what I needed to take away. I think they're look completely different than they used to look under Leach. Arnett has changed the offense. It's so obvious. They're not that spread shotgun look like you would see out of a Leach team. They were running a lot of pistol, a lot of power sets. They had a lot of guys in motion to kind of like some jet sweep action, a lot of misdirection. They would run. They run up the middle, they run off tackle, they ran a lot. I think they were pretty much a 65-35 run to pass, and I think they have been for the last two games. I'm very, very interested to see if they keep that up. I was just listening to a guy on the radio. I think it was a Mississippi State. I don't know if he's an SID or whatever he was, a reporter from Mississippi State. I think it was on Moscona's show, talking about how there was a lot of like check into runs because of the looks that they were giving. Arizona was giving them a look to where they should run the ball more. Whatever. I'm not quite sure if that's the case, or maybe they're just going to lean on the run. I think they were 13 for 17 passing. This is Will Rogers, who could actually break the all-time passing yards record in the SEC, which is kind of a big deal. It's kind of sleepy deal. Pretty big stat. And you're only going to throw the ball 17 times with them against Arizona? Like, that's shocking to me, especially in an overtime game. Like, shocking. I don't care if you thought you can just run it down Arizona's throat, but you're still tied going into overtime 24-24. Like, that doesn't look great. I think our offensive line and our defensive line can match up with this team very well. Very well. Very interested to see how our offensive line looks against this team. So Mississippi State in that game also had they got 5 turnovers from Arizona, by the way. Still, it was 24-24. It was 14-0 Mississippi State, and they looked like they had a chance to kind of like go up by a couple of maybe 28 points at halftime. Got a couple of turnovers. Couldn't do anything on offense after that. Led Arizona back in the game. Arizona almost had like a Hail Mary at halftime, so it was 14-7 at half when it could have been really like 28-0. Shades of LSU, Florida State a little bit there. And they let Arizona back in the game. But yeah, 24-24 against, couldn't tell you that Arizona is going to be that great defensively. I'm interested in seeing if they're able to run the ball against us, how we're going to fit the run. I have a feeling that they're going to try that and maybe try to do play action off of it. But on the other side of the ball, I just don't see them stopping us, man. I don't see them stopping us. Delora for Arizona threw for 340 yards, I believe. 33 for 47. They threw the ball primarily. He can run the ball a lot out of that too. I can see Jaden Daniels just feasting on this team. I I really want to see a statement out of this offense. 11 a.m. kick, put all this nonsense to bed on the 11 a.m. bull crap. I posted something this week on Twitter. Hearing a lot of people talking about that's 11 a.m. in Starkville. It's going to be tough. Like, do you know how many fucking times we played 11 a.m. in Starkville? A lot of times. And I went back on the schedule, and y'all know I love the old school stuff. Went back on the schedule. It's at least I couldn't even look it up. Like I couldn't look up like 1984 and 1983, like what time we played. They didn't have that in there. But it's at least 38 years that we've played at Starkville. And the only times that we've ever lost in Starkville was a night game. Like a 6, 7 p.m. start. Never a day game. This whole like Starkville with the cowbells, it's intimidating. It could be a tough place to play. It's bullshit. It's just bullshit. I don't know what to tell you. I've been going to Starkville for a long time. It's not that tough. It just isn't. Especially when you're playing the team you're playing on the other side. Like, it's annoying. It's not intimidating. And it doesn't, if anything, it's going to wake you up. You go in there sleepy, it's going to wake your ass up. You're in around, 50? What does that even hold? It's not even 70, I don't think. 50, 60,000 cowbells. Like, it's annoying. You're not going to get false starts and shit like that in Starkville. It just doesn't happen. This is all made up. This is LSU fans right now scared to death. And I tweeted about this too. There's a defeatist mentality going on right now of something bad happened. It's disaster syndrome. I think Nick Diaz said that, and I echoed that. It's disaster syndrome. It's Nick Saban used to talk about that. You're just waiting for the next bad thing to happen. And that Florida State game, the second half, I should say, nobody wants to talk about the first half. It's the fourth quarter, scared everybody to death because they punched us in the mouth when we gave up. It scared me to death. But that's not the team that you're going to see. It's just not happening. Like, we have the athletes. I saw somebody today tell me, well, I basically said we need to start acting like Texas, how they acted when they went to Tuscaloosa. They weren't scared of shit. They were ready. They wanted it. Fans, players, all of it. They didn't care. They wanted it. Bring on the smoke. We're Texas. We're badass. We know we're badass, and they acted like it. They pushed Alabama around. Florida State. We heard from Florida State fans all offseason. They thought they were king shit. And guess what? They came in and beat our ass. Like, the fan base knew it. The players knew it. And they acted like it. Now, LSU and Alabama are the ones. LSU and Alabama. Coming off of like the last, 10 years of like dominance that we had, 20 years of dominance. We're the teams that are getting stepped on and pushed around. Where's our mentality? Like, why aren't we the bad alphas coming out here? And now we're going to Starkville and we got people worried about this game? No, we're going to go in there and we're going to beat their ass. It's a 10-point spread for a reason, guys. LSU's going on the road and they're a 10-point favorite from Vegas insiders who know what's going on. Like, they're not idiots. They know that we're so talented and that we could probably score at will. Is it a walkthrough game? No. But, I mean, it's not a name your score kind of game. It is going to be a dominant game, though. So let me walk that back a little bit. I was getting a little jacked up. If you can't tell, I'm getting a little jacked. Seeing the passing yards that Arizona had against Mississippi State has me excited about our offense going and playing against them. Logan Diggs edition, being able to run the ball, throw the ball downfield. I love seeing Jaden Daniels hit guys like Chris Hilton. Like, throw him out there and run a fucking go. Just run a go. Love it. I mean, we should throw deep with him twice a game, every game, rest of the season. Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors. They had two guys for Arizona that had 8 catches apiece. I mean, I just see us being able to slice them up with the passing game. And if they get pressure on you, I'm going to see Jaden Daniels probably scramble out of the pocket. And I'm sure people are going to be, oh my God, he's not waiting in the pocket long enough. Bring in Nuss. All of a sudden, he's going to have 350 yards passing and like 50 yards rushing, calling for the backup quarterback up by 15. Ridiculous. I've kind of had enough. I'm ready for us to go on the field, take it to somebody, calm everybody the fuck down. It's just getting on my nerves a little bit, to be honest with you. I kind of took a break a little bit on Twitter. I think it was yesterday. I kind of came back a little bit today. My question today was more of, is Mississippi State really going to try to run the ball 65% of the time when our problems are our corners? Like, I would assume they're going to try to test them, right? If you try to run the ball against us, I feel like that's a matchup for us, right? That's good for us. So it sounds like a lot of people don't think that that's what's going to happen, but I'm interested to see how they come out for the first couple of series. It's very important for LSU, I think, to go just score. I want to see 14 points in the first quarter, and I can tell you this: night game in Starkville against Arizona, they're up 14-0. Everybody's ringing their bells or whatever, going crazy. Arizona kind of like handles the wave of it all. They score last, I guess 10 seconds, something like that on the clock in the first half, so it makes it 14-7. Crowd is silent. Completely took the crowd out of the game at that point. Now they got back in it at the end whenever it got to be a close game, but you can shut them up. Trust me, you can do it. Been there, seen it. I think it was a couple years ago. Ogeron took a team, and we were up. Was it 28-10? They made it a game. They turned it into 28-25 win, but it was a sleepy win because it was an 11 o'clock game. We were up by 18. They had to throw the ball to come back, and it wasn't a game. It looked like it was a close game, but it wasn't a close game. And I actually loved playing against those Mike Leach teams because it felt like you could just play rush 3, play 8 in the back, keep everything underneath, and let them drive the field. And eventually they're going to get to the red zone and they're going to stall out. Something's going to happen. That's exactly the game plan they did. It was Durante Jones' game plan with that one. They're not doing that now. It's going to be a little bit more pro style, it seems like. So, anyway, I'll tell you right now, I have it LSU 34, Mississippi State 17. 17-point win on the road. We cover the spread. We look like the team that everybody's expecting us to look like on offense. Defense, I could see it. I mean, I'm saying 17. I could see 20s, but I still see us scoring over 30. That's how good our offense is going to be. And that was kind of my thought going into this season was offensively, we're going to be able to score at will. And our offense is probably going to bail out our defense. I was questioning our corners just like everybody else was before the season. I think a lot of people just still have that bad taste in their mouth from that fourth quarter of that Florida State game. So we need to get out of that. We need to get out of this whole mentality. It's okay. We have the athletes. I still think that we can win the West. We saw Alabama. I mean, who's their quarter? We said this at the beginning of the before the season on the podcast. Who's their quarterback? You got people picking them to win the national championship. They let Bill O'Brien go. He's coaching for the Patriots. They're happy about it. They bring in Tommy Rees acting like it's some upgrade, and we don't even know who their quarterback is. This is crazy talk that they're going to be a national champion. Like, no, that's going to take some rebuilding. I don't care what Saban, how great of a coach he is. They don't have a quarterback. And I was hearing before this game, like, oh, we have three offensive linemen over 350 pounds. Well, they got whooped up front. And they don't know what to do with Milroe. They got him handing the ball off, rolling out and stuff. Like, no, that's a zone read guy. If I had ever seen one. Same with Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is a zone read guy. He's RPOs. But now it's Texas and Florida State look like they're the class. And you could easily see Texas probably still losing. I mean, they acted like it was a damn Super Bowl the other night. Florida State didn't act like that against us, at least. Florida State's for real, man. I love their offense, and I think they got dudes up front on defensive line. They can get after people. They're so much like an SEC team. It's not even funny. Texas is too in some ways. Defensively, I still don't think Texas is quite there, but Florida State's pretty good, man. And we're gonna look back at this game all year probably. That Florida State they're really good, and I'm gonna keep talking about how we dominated the first half. We dominated it. We made no adjustments in the second half. Got outcoached. Got bullied in the second half. They took it to us. We quit on defense, but we outplayed them in the first half. And you cannot tell me that we didn't. You cannot. And we're going to look back at this at the end of the year, and we're going to say, oh, Florida State's really good. They won the ACC, probably might be undefeated, if not one loss, getting into the playoff. And I'm going to be like, we took it to that team in the first half. We left points on the board like crazy. Should have easily been 24-7 or something like that at halftime. And we're talking about a different game. We would have had the confidence going into the second half. This probably still would have been a tough game because they're really good. So 34-17, LSU over Mississippi State. Really looking forward to this weekend. I love when we're on the road playing an early an 11 a.m. game just because you get to watch the other games. You're not up against anybody or anything like that as far as time slots. Kind of like this setup for us. Tonight we got some football. We had NFL. I got a bet tonight. Memphis 13.5, all over it. But Saturday night we have Tennessee at Florida. We got a lot of home dogs this weekend, man. Lots of home dogs. Really I like Tennessee there. I would not be able to bet on Graham Mertz at all. But I like Tennessee. I'm also very, very interested to see this Georgia-South Carolina game. Georgia's just look like complete horseshit. And I'm looking at a 27.5 point favorite over South Carolina, and I get it. South Carolina hadn't looked fantastic either. Georgia can just awaken and then beat the hell out of South Carolina. I just want to see it. I want to see what happens. Is Georgia going to be able to score against defenses like this? Not that South Carolina is any like juggernaut or anything, but I still want to see it. I want to see how they how if they wake up like everybody's thinking, like they've just been walking through this like cupcake schedule that they have, are they gonna like turn it on, like they usually do? And I think that's what everybody's expecting. But also, like Florida State, 26 points over Boston College at Boston College. I think they're that good. They're going to score 40, 50. I mean, it's almost at the point how many points does Boston College score? So, yeah, I'm not probably don't have a whole lot of games this weekend that I'm going to be betting on like I did last week. Kind of broke even a little bit last week. So, Alabama at South Florida, 33 points. I love Alabama. Give me the first half line. It was probably 21, 20 and a half. I'll take that. Why in the hell is Alabama playing at South Florida? This makes no sense to me. It started with like Texas Tech playing at Wyoming. Like, I know Texas Tech's not like some giant, but like, why are they playing at Wyoming? And they get knocked off. They get upset. Ole Miss playing at Tulane, which was a great game, by the way. Ole Miss didn't look fantastic by any means. Tulane was right in that game, even with Pratt out. We got Ole Miss coming up in a couple of weeks. So, and if you remember, let me show you this one more time. Here's my predictions from the beginning of the season. I had us beating Florida State. Obviously, we lost. Grambling, I had 56-7. Actually, last week I picked 59-7, so I adjusted that a little bit. 72-10. Mississippi State, same as what I had before, 34-17. Arkansas next week, Ole Miss the week after. So you can kind of see where I'm at with that schedule. I'm gonna adjust that Ole Miss game because I've seen them play now twice, and I'm not as high on them. Not that I was that high. I thought it was like a slip up game a little bit, but I will let me reserve judgment. I want to see how our defense looks Saturday. And Arkansas doesn't look like gangbusters or anything right now either. But anyway, let's get to this game. I want to see our team lights out on an 11 a.m. kick in Starkville. Like put away some of these doubters right now and go out, be dominant like LSU is. Like, this just doesn't seem right to me that teams I don't know, maybe the team's not hesitant. Just that quit in the Florida State games just got a bad taste in everybody's mouth. Let's flush that shit. And let's get back to like we should never, ever be scared to go to Starkville. They do not have fucking Dak Prescott at quarterback. Like, we should not be worried about this game. Go take it to them. It's Mississippi State, for crying out loud. Brand new coach. Defensive coordinator, a head coach. Come on. Take it to these scrubs. All right. 34-17 LSU. Shortened episode tonight. I'm going to watch some NFL here in a little bit and some college football. And looking forward to this weekend. So, again, Patrick Michelson, our old sponsor from Bank of England Mortgage. He's with Highlands Residential Mortgage. So, different company, same great service. Patrick's over there. He's the regional manager. 225-939-9878. Give him a call. Let him walk you through the mortgage refi process. He can handle it all for you. Also, River Cities Total Maintenance. Lucas Ragusa over at River Cities Total Maintenance. Great people. All your AC, refrigeration, electrical needs. 504-841-3300. NOLA-AC.com. Give him a call. Bocock Brothers Cigars, BocockBrothers.com, #BeCocky. Go check them out. You see Dylan Cruz smoking the Bocock right there. Also, big shout out to Brandon Lejean over at Courtesy Buick GMC. Was an old sponsor of mine, still a good friend of the show. Give give him a call. Go reach out to him. Go check him out on Facebook. He's got deals all the time. Brandon Lejean over at Courtesy Buick GMC in Lafayette. We appreciate him. And another shout out, Pelican to Mars, pet friendly bar on Government Street in Baton Rouge. Go check them out. Dealing with some patio stuff. Great little spot. Good old fashioned, by the way. I know you guys love old fashions. Go check them out. I was just talking to somebody the other day about checking out. Well, I've been there once. I need to go back again. Supper Club, one of the best old fashions I've had in Baton Rouge, and you probably need to go back to get into some of these old fashioned reviews that I used to do in Baton Rouge. If you have any that you want me to go check out, leave me a message on the YouTube page or Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You know how to reach me. Go check us out there, and we appreciate you guys. And it has been One Team, One Podcast. Logan